thought that Australia was holding on, that they were going to do it. That second innings was so important, but they just had to just throw it away.
Yeah,
that was
all
literally
out.
what happened.
5
All
for
out.
106 became all out for 137. Three ducks in there. It was just another. To be fair though, this time at least it was the lower order, not the top order.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
At least it wasn't the other
Oh,
way
it still
around.
was the top order. We were, 3 for 30 at a stage?
Yeah,
Ended up 3 for 80.
3
and
for
then,
31.
And then all out for 137. How do you see it, Benno?
Oh, look, we hadn't collapsed badly yet, in my opinion. It was going to happen. You can keep putting the inevitable off, but the true Australia will return. And unfortunately, it came at a time where we'd been playing well all series, and I don't know. Apparently, I thought we played well the rest of the series. I mean, we were lucky to get that draw. I mean, India outplayed us in the second test. The first test, I mean, I think this series we've done a lot to show that we can match them in India in the future. Maybe the team just needs to go away. I mean, a lot has been said about our practice on spinning wickets, how we play spinning pitches. But at the end of the day, we're still Australia, and a collapse is always going to happen, whether you like it or not. I mean, the mental fortitude sometimes just isn't there, and we rely a lot on Smith. I mean, we saw Smith go cheaply in this innings and kind of collapse around him. Warner, who knows, needs to do something about his form overseas.
He did hit a half century in the first innings, but at the same time, he had a pretty poor series.
He's
He's
pretty much
lofty
done nothing
standards.
all series.
After this series, Warner averages, I think it's 60 in Australia, but only averages like 38 overseas.
That
is
And he's
poor.
had
That's a bit of an Indian sort of
and he had 2 massive series where he averaged like 90 in South Africa, and I think it was in the West Indies with the other. And apart from that, he doesn't average more than 20, 25.
And we're the ones sledging someone in India because he doesn't get picked anywhere else.
Yeah,
Like-
exactly.
Yeah, that was
gonna be war.
Jadeja, wasn't it? And
yeah.
he's
Jadeja's been very good this series.
I honestly didn't really rate him for a series. I hadn't watched a lot of cricket in India in truth, and he was pretty almost a difference in the end. He was better than Ashwin.
I think it was probably the ball.
definitely.
Definitely
I
ball
think
of the
he
series.
took the most wickets. I think it was about
Most.
25 wickets for the series. In
Yeah.
the end.
And he just broke partnerships as well. Not that we had too many extended partnerships. We had a couple, but he just... And then would come through and just, go through the lower order very quickly.
Hit a couple of crucial, half centuries towards the end of innings as well, and they usually had a good rate of knots. So, yeah. But in some better news in the cricket, Victoria have got the win in the Sheffield Shield. How about that?
Oh, woo!
Yeah.
Yeah, look.
So excited.
You prefer an Australia victory in India than a
I think
Sheffield
anyone
Shield victory. but-
knew that the Sheffield Shield was on. I'll be
But I
honest with
think-
you.
Hasn't Victoria won like the last
Last
three?
three.
Yeah.
So I think it's as expected from now,
But what do we think that says about Sheffield Shield, though, that we've won 3 in a row? Not many.
It's the selectors do not pick any Victorians.
Yeah, I think
A very unbiased opinion.
Or they're
us
just all
Melbourne
the good
Arts.
players have already been taken.
Yeah, true.
Victoria's the only one. No,
That's
but what does that say about the Sheffield Shield as a competition as a whole, that the grand final can go on and I don't think anyone was watching? Was it in Alice Springs again?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was in
Wait, what?
Yeah, it was in
Yeah.
Alice Springs. That's it.
Yeah, so the finals
No
takes
lie.
place in Alice Springs, where no one cares about cricket, let alone would go watch. There was it was pretty anonymous, that final.
It was against South Australia though. Wasn't
Against South
Yeah.
Australia, yeah. So what does that like? Where does Sheffield Shield sort of?
Where's it sit? Well,
Yeah, where's it sit? Do we think?
I think it's always going to be an integral part of it. It should be an integral part of Australian cricket because that's where you're getting your test players from, really.
Yeah.
But look, no one really cares. I don't think anyone could really tell you who the number one, or unless you really paid attention, that Chad Sayers is the number one wicket taker in the Sheffield Shield. A lot of people be like, "Who's that?"
And a lot of people again who know who Chad Sayers is only because he's been in discussion around the Test team.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, pretty much.
By the way, he should be in the Test team. Just gonna say that now.
he just hoops it.
Just hoops at heaps.
But he only bowls about your 130 clicks. So I don't know sure if the selectors will pick him. They'll pick a Cummins or a Pattinson over him
or a
probably.
Bird or someone.
How old is
yeah.
he?
I don't think he's that old. I honestly
I feel
don't
like
know
he's
how old
pretty
he is.
young.
Yeah, he's pretty
Yeah.
young.
Well, that's okay. He'll get better.
Yeah,
But
he'll get his time.
what do we think about Coley's comments after the series? Going from the I don't mind them off the pitch to
you know,
Yeah,
get
don't-
stuffed.
Yeah,
don't want
no,
anything
don't
to
be
do with
friends
you
with
ever.
him. Seems a bit like of a high school drama, doesn't it? Rather than, you know.
That
He
was
said
like,
this
yeah.
and she said that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the thing about the test, that was like there was so much drama between him and Steve Smith, and Steve Smith came under fire like 3 times maybe for like allegations of cheating, and then in that last test also made that comment from the rooms when
The cheat one,
the
yeah.
cheat one, when I can't remember who it was from India who appealed for a catch that obviously had bounced into his hands.
I think it was Rahane. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
though.
that sounds
Yeah.
about right.
I
Yeah.
think it was Rahane.
And then obviously Coley didn't play the last test, but his actions that were spoken about a lot were like he was just a bit arrogant and things like that.
And the
but
thing is, like, Indian media, like, they cannot say a bad word about him.
no,
So they would have been a bit rocked when he's gotten dropped. And also, you know, he's doing a few things, sort of testing, like, the width of the selectors and that. But, yeah, look.
to
I
turn
think-
around and then say, like, at the start of the test, is just be like, oh, heat of the battle, like, you know, things get said, but off the pitch, like, everything's fine, whatever. And then to turn around at the end of the thing and then just literally just be like, I don't want anything to do with them.
It's quite a thing to say, isn't it?
Yep.
It's a bit
Harsh.
it's just childish.
Yeah.
But I think Coley, he's obviously under a lot of pressure. And if anything that comes out of this series that is a positive, that could be positive. That Coley finally feels like he's been put under some kind of pressure.
I think one thing though is that the Australia definitely realise now that they're probably not the number 1 test team. They know that they're not the number one test team anymore, and they've had to go. And they've one of the few times where they've actually had to go overseas, and they've had someone play the same way that they used to do to teams that visited Australia. So they've gone to India and realised that this is what when they were at their best, what they used to do to teams that came. They would bully them, you know, mentally put them under a lot of pressure, and then they would bowl and they would play tough cricket.
It's what the is that the Invincibles, the 05, or is that like the 1948?
I think the 48 ones are the Invincibles.
I was talking more like the Pontings, Gilchrist, all that. Like they put the absolute pressure. You're absolutely right. Like
Yeah.
they put the.
I'm not sure if
put
they
on
would
that
ever
much
have
duress.
gone and maybe pushed it as much off the pitch as what. Then again, you know, when was it? 10 years ago when India toured and we had that whole like obnoxious little weed comment. Remember that from Andrew Simons or Hayden or something like that? He was talking about Harbhajan Singh. I wasn't meaning anything else there. Don't worry. But like,
Also, like,
I
what?
think Australia realised now that it's not so easy if you're not the number 1 test team. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't if you can't bully them. It's very hard to.
Yeah. And that's where I kind of feel for Steve Smith here, in that we had the series, and if we won this game, all we had to do was play out that innings, essentially. All we needed was a draw, sorry. So we just needed to play that innings, make a good score, keep India at bay, and we had the trophy, which would have been so good for Steve Smith, who I think sometimes his captaincy gets questioned.
Yeah.
Questions
And
a lot.
probably for good reason as
Yeah.
well.
I
At
think
times
so.
it
I
is
think
like
it's kind of
not
for good
bowling,
reason.
not bowling Maxwell 2 overs in 190,
ridiculous.
190 overs.
Well, I
or
mean,
200
even like
overs.
when Marsh was first in the team.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not always him selecting the side though.
selecting,
I think so, yeah. But not Marsh being in the team, but the fact that he wasn't going to use Marsh when
Oh,
he came
yeah,
into the team.
yeah.
The fact
I
that, if he's your third baseman.
If you're not, he may not be selecting the team solely, but you've got to use all
You gotta use
resources.
what's
Yeah,
available.
exactly.
I mean,
like, you
he-
got to try something different. Like, you know, a batsman might let their guard down because they're like, yes,
Yeah.
Mitch Marsh is coming on. I can
mean-
absolutely smack him.
We see time and time again, part-timers will just snag a wicket in a
Like
long
Jadeja,
part-
look how many wickets he took. Nah.
For a part-time.
Really?
Jeez.
But like,
Overly
yeah,
kid.
he should have given Maxwell, Warner, even bowled himself. I mean, we saw
Yeah.
Clark do it from time to time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just come
He
on.
took a 6 for.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that actually is an interesting point, though. It's because Clark was quite a good captain.
Yeah.
He was a very good
Clark
captain.
was a very good captain.
Very good captain.
Yeah. He may not be a great bloke
I was about to
or
say-
a great commentator.
I was about to
but
say,
he's-
it's not quite his
The-
commentary career is the same standard, but as a captain,
If
he
Channel
was,
9 is listening, these views do not reflect the views
yeah,
of
views of
Sports
sin,
Day.
of course. Of
although I
course.
take them to heart.
If
I'd love a job. Thanks.
Steve Smith takes
Yeah,
Australia
same.
over to England and wins the Ashes over in England, then I think all will be forgiven.
I think
Do you think that's right, though, that he can just
Yeah.
go about, like... I mean, of course, I think he's a good captain. I mean, he's arguably the best batsman in the world at the moment. But I don't like that kind of idea that you can go over to England, win an Ashes series, and you kind of get forgiven by the media.
But that's what it means.
I
Like,
know
it's
what it-
such a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it means. Like, it doesn't matter
But I
what you
mean-
do, and especially because we haven't won them in England in, like,
Oh,
what?
oh, no, I get your
Yeah.
point, but like the fact that
yeah.
it just washes everything
I think-
away is not good for
I don't
cricket
think,
team.
Yeah, and also I don't think the challenges that we face in India will be much more than what we'll get in England. If you saw England earlier in the Indian summer, they went and played 4 tests in India, and
killed.
I think lost all 4 of them.
The thing is, like, a 2-1, I would have taken that absolutely.
Well,
just
taking
you
a
know,
1-1.
What?
A 1-1.
No, 2-1. I would have taken a
you mean-
2-1 loss. Like,
yeah.
I would have taken even
Yeah.
just winning a test. I thought we were. Like,
I thought we were
looking
gonna
I
get
thought it was gonna be.
four.
We
I
were
thought it was
gonna.
4-0,
What,
yeah.
who said we were gonna lose 4-0?
I think we.
Harbhajan. I think it was Harbhajan.
I think to go with everyone else though. To be fair,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
many people expected.
I would have
it.
said 4-0.
So
I
there we
reckon.
go. Like, you know, I
So,
think
yeah.
overall this series was a positive for the Australian side. Show that we can actually win in India.
Yeah,
Not a series, but we can win a game.
can win
Come
in India.
close.
but also I think the
That close to
deficiencies that
winning
have been
series.
found in our team will actually be quite beneficial.
Yeah.
In that we probably relied a little bit too much on Smith, especially if Warner doesn't fire, and that you can see from our bowling. Our bowling is good. I think our bowling is a lot stronger than what we thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
That
Which is promising going into an Ashes series in Australia.
yeah.
So in some way, a loss can be good in that it's like a little bit of a kick up the bum.
Yeah.
With arguably Australia's most important series coming up.
I think so. Yeah.
And I
So ask some good questions.
And I think it also showed that Cummins is here to stay if he keeps
Yeah.
his body right.
Yeah.
If.
Yeah,
Which is
that's a big
it's a
if.
massive
Big
if,
if,
but if you have Stark, Hazelwood, Cummins and Lyon at your disposal every test, that's a
and then
pretty...
you got Steve O'Keefe.
Yeah.
That actually does raise a question. Who, if you're picking 4 bowlers for, say, Boxing Day test, who are you picking?
The Stark, Hazelwood, locks, probably... it's out of who's in better form of Cummins and Pattinson for me.
Yeah.
And then I don't think O'Keefe has the record, like, in Australia. Or, like,
Well, he does, actually.
he
in
does,
Sheffield
but-
Shield, but yeah,
but
it's
like,
mostly
I
in
just...
Sydney.
You'd be loath to drop Lyon because Lyon...
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Lyon's more... Also, I would say he's a bit of a big game player. I just feel like...
Well, we
He-
saw during this summer when he went.
And took the wicket on the Gazza ball.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, when he went so many overs. I mean, he went like days without taking a wicket, and then suddenly
But yeah.
took that back. Yeah.
Yeah, he just seems to click sometimes.
The thing is, I think if Lyon doesn't perform, O'Keefe's putting that pressure on. He comes straight in.
Yeah,
He
I
plays
think-
poor game. Like,
So
I think that's
it-
the thing.
Yeah, that's probably not a problem at all to have 2 real good
yeah,
spinners.
exactly. But it's just more
Better
like
than-
who
better
you
than
pick
none.
over, and I'd probably
Yeah.
go with Lyon. Like
Yeah.
you.
I think you just have to pick Lyon based on familiarity with the team setup.
Yeah,
Mm.
I think although when we go to England though, I think that'll change, and that you'll see, you might only go with 2 of Hazelwood, Stark, and Cummins, and then you might be tempted to bring in a Sayers or a Bird or someone like that. just
someone to
fit,
swing it.
yeah, just to
Yeah.
fit the conditions a bit more. But I
Yeah.
mean, I think it's definitely a good problem to have too many bowlers. Our problems are probably the batting at the moment.
Yeah, but it was disappointing for Australia over in India. But going over to the subcontinent as well soon is the Shooting Stars, who are the under-21 women's development squad. So Catherine Fitzpatrick, former Australian fast bowler as well, now coaches this development team, and she's expecting big things from the girls. Quite a few teenagers have been selected. One of them's 15-year-old Treneman.
What am I doing with my life?
I know, right? It just makes you really question some things, doesn't it? But she's she played against the Governor General's 11 against South Africa last November. 5 days for making her state debut for New South Wales. So she comes in as an all-rounder and a leg spin. There's also Stars player Alana King, and also Redmayne, who is the sole overage player who played for Hobart Hurricanes in the WBBL as well. So the girls will be playing 3 one-day games and 3 2020s over the next fortnight. So good luck to the girls out there in the subcontinent, and hopefully the conditions don't, make them struggle like they do the Australian men's team.
Who's your tip?
My tip, I think, will be tough. Sri Lanka will choose a tough side, but I have full faith in the girls that they will win at least 4 of the 5 games, I think.
Oh, big call.
Yeah, maybe 3. I'll go with 3. 3 of the 5 games. Because as I said, it's development squad. So I suppose that's the thing they have on their side, aside from the men's team, is that they have the time to develop.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
not as much pressure on them.
Yeah. But we're going to go to a song now, and then after the song, we're going to play you our package from a great night of glitz and glam at the AFLW Coral Carpet. This is... You say it.
This is Foley with Breakup Song, and you're listening to the Sports Desk on SYN 90.7 FM.
My eyesight is... And that was Foley with Breakup Song. And after all the bad news about the cricket, now we've got something quite fun and uplifting for everyone, because Tuesday night was the AFLW's Night of Nights, and me and Ben were there on the red carpet interviewing some of the
Looking
girls.
dashing. You too?
Yeah.
I can't help
thank
it.
you, Dan.
Tuck your shirt in, Ben.
Oh, I've had like 5 or 6
true.
people have a go. at
Very
me.
true. That's
Okay, it's not
unconventional,
hard.
unusual.
When you're a reporter on the go, sometimes you have to go for form over fashion. So, what can you do?
No, he's just doing what was comfortable, guys.
Yeah,
But without further ado, we're gonna.
it's pretty hot actually.
We're gonna let you in on
That's
me and
AFL.
Ben's trip to the AFLW's.
No, I mean like temperature.
The AFLW's first Night of Nights. And that concludes me and Ben's wonderful night on the coral carpet at the AFLW Awards. And Sam, I'm really sorry that we didn't get a date from Taylor Harris for you.
It's all right.
We know Sam's really, really upset about it, but it's
Next
okay.
year.
Next year, exactly. There's always next year. But we seriously did have a really good time catching up with a few of the girls. And I think that's concludes our AFLW coverage for the year, which is a bit sad. But, I think we'll come back to it when the draft is on and trade period and everything in May. But for now, we're going to head to a song.
I think there's a tear. There's a
I was
tear
about
in
to
Lucy's
say.
eye.
Tear in the eye.
Very somber from me.
We're all playing our tiny violins for
Yeah.
Lucy.
Thanks, guys. This is Client Liaison with Canberra Won't Be Calling Tonight. And that was Client Liaison with Canberra Won't Be Calling Tonight. And this is the Sports Desk on SYN 90.7 FM. And we're still talking footy. But now we're talking
Footy mate.
Footy more.
AFL, the men's.
AFLM.
That's my favourite thing to say now. AFL, the men's. Just to make sure that it's
It's not
on-
grammatically
it's unequal.
correct. It should be
Yeah, but it
AFL
sounds-
men's.
the men's.
No one calls it AFL the women's.
Well, it's like the
They
face.
sometimes
It's like
say
the
sometimes.
Facebook, the interwebs.
Isn't it
Friday
The
morning
Insta.
grammar.
Just want to settle something, Lucy. So if someone's saying
Footy
like
or pie?
man on man, does that stand for AFLW, or is that woman? Is it woman on woman?
What about man
What
on?
would you say? There was like a man on man defense, or
Oh.
holding the man. It's holding the woman.
Isn't
and
it holding
woman
the
on
player?
woman?
It's just like to hold and play. We use gender neutral terms, Dan.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just
But I
wanted to
think
settle
when
the
you
score.
say holding the ball,
Because I heard a lot of commentators say like,
but I think it's just like ingrained in the thing where you're
Yeah.
saying
Yeah.
man on man, blah 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 blah. But
Yeah.
it's
and
all
then people
good.
go like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not that bad.
It's just that it's ingrained into the culture. But now we're talking about the men's footy,
Of course.
which I'll
And
leave you boys
I was
to.
there at the MCG last night to see the Tigers win in a very average sort of display of football. Did you catch a glimpse of it, Ben?
I did not. I watched about a minute and I turned off after. I was watching the start of the fourth quarter, just saw a lot of skill errors and I'm like, just
You
can't.
didn't watch the first half. It was even worse.
No, I was.
That was
I had
yuck.
prior commitments.
shocking.
Yeah. Well, I actually did have a. I was actually doing something else, but that's a story
There
for
we
another
go.
time.
There we
It's
go.
so
That's
busy to
that's
get
for
your
your next show,
time,
man.
But yeah, I mean, from the sounds of it, kicking efficiency was well down.
And
Collingwood, I think, kicked 10, 15.
11, 14, and they
11,
wasted a lot of opportunities. I mean, they were 2 goals, 7 at a point, and they
That
could
is
have been
poor,
about. They could
yeah.
have been about. You're 5-4. It was just ridiculous. They were missing set shots from 40 metres directly in
Yeah,
front.
Collingwood 5-10 at half time.
Yeah.
So
It was just very wasteful with their opportunities.
And who says Travis Cloak was the problem at Collingwood?
So impressed you last night, Dan? Watching on from the stands?
Look, I thought Grundy was probably best on ground last night. He was emphatic in the ruck, but also Nankervis.
Yeah.
Nankervis was
ruckmen,
very
actually.
play well. Nankervis barely could get a hit out, but
Nank the tank.
taking some intercept marks and defence. I think did he kick a snag? No, he didn't kick a snag late, but he assisted one. Dusty he's looking very good as a forward, as playing him more forward. Kicked a couple of late goals last night, which was crucial. Treloar again just racked it up, but really it's just all about the Tigers 2-0 playing against two fairly average sides in Carlton and Collingwood.
Well, actually, I want to bring something up. So, it's been said a lot in the media that if Buckley doesn't make finals with Collingwood,
He's done. He's done.
Yeah.
Let me
What
get to
about
my
the same
point.
on Hardwick?
I think I was reading a stat where for teams that have gone 0-2 in the past, whatever,
Yeah. Was it just Sydney? Just Sydney.
I saw
the
North
same.
Melbourne as
Oh,
well,
yeah.
but does not bode well. I think there's 4% chance for Collingwood now to make it. Having played Bulldogs, sure, tough game, but if you want to be making finals, you've got to honestly be beating Richmond.
Yeah.
There's no two ways about that, and I'm sure you would agree with that, Dan.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I
But-
mean, it pretty much was a side of two midfields and not a lot else last
Yeah.
night. And I can't see Collingwood making the flag. I don't see them being better than even Saints and Melbourne.
I don't
now
think...
they're 0-2. I mean, they played like reigning premiers last week, but to not get the chocolates against Richmond when they had it in their grasp pretty much. Just poor.
Definitely. I mean,
very poor.
The question remains, though, you axe Buckley because I think he does need to go. I think Collingwood supporters have had enough of it. I know certain Collingwood supporters have had it for 3 or 4 years, but that's a discussion for another time. Who do you replace him with? Because there doesn't seem to be any major free agents out there.
It's hard to say.
Do you have to pull someone from the sky?
Well, the thing is, like, Chris Fagan, you know, he's been all over the shot. And, I mean, he knows the ropes. He's been in a variety of different clubs, and he will be great for Brisbane. And he's come from the Hawthorn, you know, coaching academy under Alistair Clarkson. But there's been names like, you know, Stewie Dew, I think, has been in the last sort of in line for the last 3 sort of roles. But yeah, I honestly couldn't tell you. They can't get another person from Collingwood again.
That's the thing, but the Collingwood faithful would want to see someone.
But like, it's not who they want to see; it's who's going to bring them success.
I completely agree with you. But I think there's a Collingwood mentality. You kind of.
I reckon Buckley may have changed that perception though. That like you can't just get like a. Actually, I guess Mick Malthouse obviously was successful, but. Yeah, I mean Buckley.
But also, I think they want a big name. They don't want someone that is just gonna that they've never heard of. And the problem is, you'd have to lure over someone like a Ross Lyon or something. I imagine almost to satisfy the Collingwood faithful. Because if you're replacing Buckley, they need big names. I mean, they're used to Malthouse being a big name. I mean, I just think that the coaching situation at Collingwood is not good at the moment. But getting rid of Buckley will arguably make it worse until they've got someone lined up.
They have to have someone lined up.
Definitely. They have to have someone basically sign on the dotted line.
But tomorrow night there's the grand final rematch. Who's going to win that one? Bulldogs and Sydney.
Isn't it tonight?
Oh, tonight. Sorry, tonight. Sam, what are your thoughts?
We don't pre-record.
We do this live.
Bulldogs looked very good last week, didn't they?
Yeah.
I didn't really see much of Sydney last week.
Sydney got beaten by Port.
Port, yeah.
So sad.
But
tell us more about your bandwagon moves.
Peel.
Doggies moved the ball pretty well last week. They kind of faded out a little bit towards the end against Collingwood, which is, you know, no major worries, I guess, first week back. But Doggies, I'd say. What about you fellas? What are we thinking?
I'm thinking Doggies. Saints have Sydney have a lot of outs.
A lot of injuries.
A lot of injuries.
Dane Rampy. What an idiot.
Jumping over a chain.
Break his arm.
It's not as bad as Degoe, but yeah.
At least he
didn't lie about it to them.
He didn't lie about it. Like, it sounds unbelievable, but at least he didn't lie about it.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, I think the Dogs, they looked really good last week. They were moving as a team. I mean, Collingwood, yeah, they took it to them, but Bontempelli, etc. I mean, there's too much firepower in that Western Bulldogs team with the outs that Sydney have. I just see them getting up by probably 4 goals, I reckon. I mean, it'll be a close-ish game, but I just think also Hanbury looks hampered. He does not look very good.
Got him in the Supercoach. You're a bit worried, aren't you?
No.
I don't have him.
Oh, you don't have him?
I've got JPK.
Yeah, same here.
Thank God.
Oh, yeah. I think that I would be... If you've got... Just a bit of a Supercoach advice. If you've got Hanbury, watch him tonight because he might need to be traded out.
I think it's that knee from the grand final.
Yeah, he didn't attend a single centre bounce.
Yeah,
I think he must have tweaked it somewhere over the preseason that they haven't mentioned because apparently he won 3K time trial. Ever since then, he's looked not good. So, yeah, I think Western Bulldogs by 4 goals. They'll overpower
Another big game on the Saturday. Hawthorn Adelaide. Who's winning this one?
Oh, this is a tough one to call. I mean, Hawthorn looked pretty bad against the Bombers. Could it have just been first game nerves? Could it have been missing Luke Hodge? I don't know, but I think you've got to give it to Adelaide on current form.
Yeah, absolutely. They're just looking so fast and pacey. They absolutely destroyed GWS last weekend. And to end the big games of the round, we have a bit of a stoush in the in the studio here
Sports
because
game
are
of the
playing
round
against Essendon in what is said to be the worst game of the round. We
I think the worst
torrential
game
rain
of-
at the Gabba.
Potentially the worst game of all
the
time.
year. Who's winning this one? Who do you reckon, Sam, as a Brisbane supporter? Got a nice win on the board last week.
Yeah, we played it right up until half time, and then we kind of just went, oh, this is nice.
Then you went, oh, we're Brisbane.
Yeah, and then we went, oh, Brisbane will do our best to drop it. No, we looked all right last week. I mean, Essendon looked much better than us, though.
Yep.
I just hope that...
But it's going to be a scrappy
I just
affair,
hope-
mate. They could get the chocolates.
Nah. Oh, maybe.
You're
But
daring
I
to
just
dream.
hope they bring their flippers because,
Yeah.
seriously, bring some goggles, bring your Speedos.
Reminds me of
Because...
that guy at Metricon Stadium last year who was wearing the snorkel. It's gonna be the similar
Well, in the
sort
street
of...
is he's umpiring. If they're trialling 4 umpires this week, he's the 4th umpire.
Better hope Dyson Apple can swim better. Who's winning this one?
I'm hearing a few Essendon supporters worrying about this as a danger game, and I don't know if I agree. I mean,
Oh, you might just live to
definitely-
regret that
I definitely
statement.
don't
We'll
agree.
record that
I mean,
snippet.
no, like I agree that we could lose this game, but I think if we're more likely to drop a game against a team like Gold Coast or Carlton. I mean, the only worry is have we used up all our energy last week in terms of emotion, all that. But I think we should win. I think it will be a very scrappy affair. But I think now we have a bit of our midfield grunt back. I just think we can power through a little bit more than people may be expecting. But it's going to be like a 60-50 scoreline. Like there will be no free-flowing football. There will be a lot of tackles. So
Super coach for Beams. It looks good.
Oh, and Rockcliffe. Rockcliffe will lay a lot of
He's going to get Dream Team, mate. He's just going to rack it up. And I think we're going to a song now, aren't we, Benno?
Yeah, we're going to go into a song. This is City Calm Down with In a Restless House, and you're listening to Sports Desk on SYN 90.7 FM.
That was City Calm Down with In a Restless House, and you're listening to the Sports Desk on SYN at 90.7 FM. We have to quickly wrap the show up now. And Sam spent some time at the F1 last week. How was your experience, Sam?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I was working for the Grand Prix Corporation, so we got to do. I was stuck doing accrediting for most of the time, which is not as exciting as it sounds, and it doesn't sound very exciting.
But you did do some exciting things.
On the Saturday they got me to help out the sales team. So I did a pit lane walk. Did 2 pit lane walks. Stood outside the paddock for a little while, greeted some people. Saw my boy Daniel Ricciardo, who's even a bigger crush of mine.
Well.
Yeah, so I did pretty well for myself. Saw the Bont and Nick Nat. Nick Nat is a big boy.
He's
He wouldn't fit in the room. He was taller. He was taller than Pit Willings. He was huge. Saw the Bont. Saw Mark Webber driving himself around. Pretty good experience. And then got to watch the race from the media centre.
Oh, that's
So,
amazing.
Tell you what, pretty good deal for not getting paid.
Yeah. That is your pay. The
the
money can't
experience.
buy experience.
Yeah, you can't put a
Exactly.
price on
Yeah.
memory.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Man.
Sam. But some good news to finish the show off with is that the Socceroos have won
Yes.
their World Cup qualifier on Tuesday night.
Yep, Tuesday night beat the UAE 2-0, who
Back on
were
track.
fancied as one of the
Thank God.
group winners. Yeah. So that's good.
Exactly.
So
pretty much.
Just for sigh of relief.
Yeah, definitely. So we're third now. Top 2 go through at the end of a couple more matches. The top 2 teams are Japan on Saudi Arabia. We're both on 16 points. We're on 13. And we get to play Saudi Arabia in Adelaide as our next match.
Huge. So we're not
Huge
playing
match.
in Saudi
Oh.
where people
No,
can spit
we're not
on
playing
us.
the Saudis in Saudi.
Like with the Western Sydney Wanderers.
Oh, yeah, not going all the way over there. But yeah, so we have Saudi Arabia next. We beat them. We potentially could be in second, which is very important because if we come
We
third,
have to play. Who do
we have to play
South
the
America?
third team from the other Asian group. And
Yep.
then if we beat them, we have to play the 4th team from South America.
And that's going to be
And
very
so it's
tough.
gonna be
Oh,
it's gonna be
that'd be
tough assignment.
yeah.
it's gonna be another Uruguay 2005 kind
Australia's
of thing.
going to Germany.
But we won't win that.
That was so exciting. We've literally every single time we mentioned the World Cup qualifiers on this show the last 3 weeks, we've mentioned that John Eloise
Yeah.
thing. But it was that
It's like the
good.
greatest
Yeah.
Australian sporting
so
moment of all
good.
time.
Yeah. But yeah, Ange played a new system 3-4-3. Looks very good, and I think the Socceroos are looking much better than what they did 2 weeks ago.
That's good.
Agreed.
Well, that's very, very exciting for the Socceroos. Very exciting for Australian soccer. Unfortunately, we don't have any more time for anything else, but we will be back on Monday at 9 a.m. with Michael and Liam. Thank you so much for listening to the Sports Desk on SYN at 90.7 FM.
Stay
Ciao.
tuned for Schools on Air.
Stay lit, fam.